1 million national revenue, on very low taxation, all of the Americas as our subjects, and the most profitable companies by far. Patch 1.9 has turned the United States into the most overpowered nation out there, so stick around to find out how we managed to get all this in the first 20 years. And if you're not subscribed yet, that's it. If you're not subscribed yet, I'm just sad, okay? It's a sad day for me. Why? Now, boys, you really cannot go wrong with the United States. It is by far the strongest nation in Victoria 3, if you ask me. It has all the resources available to it. It has an easy expansion into North, South America, and the rest of the world if that's what you want. And it is just overall insanely OP, especially with the 1.9 patch. It became even more overpowered. But there are certain things that we need to address in the 1.9 patch and some changes. So do make sure to pay close attention. And yes, if we do get 5,000 likes on this video, I will do a second part where we take it into the proper late game and see how we can monopolize oil and crash the world economy, or dominate the world economy by doing so. Now, the first thing you probably noticed, we have a treaty with the Texans. We are giving them a few things here. Hopefully they do go for the option where they do the peace so that we can annex them. Otherwise, it's going to be GG's for the Texans, that's for sure. We will be improving relations with them, however, and we're going to be giving them trade privileges just so we maybe help a little bit. It's not going to make much of a difference, since end of the day, if they decide to continue the war, they will get annexed by Mexico. Next up, we're going to do our research. Of course, we're going to go for nationalism as the very first thing to research, and then we're going to queue up water tube boilers, Bessemer process, just so we can properly industrialize, get everything else on the queue here. We're also going to have to change a few of our production methods, such as philosophy department, to get some more innovation, and we do have secular academy for both the administration and the university, so we don't need to change that. That is because we start with total separation of church and state, which is honestly the best legislation, so we're never going to touch this. Legislation wise, we have some really good ones with a few exceptions. I'm going to start by going for dedicated police force, so we lower the landowner's strength, and we're going to increase our institution for education and law enforcement to level 3. We're going to add a tax on tobacco, and that's it. And we're going to be getting some road maintenance in New York and Pennsylvania, as well as social mobility and greener grass campaign in both of these states. How are we going to do that? We're going to increase this to very high government wages, boom, greener grass, and then we go back and we bring it down to very low government wages. Now, for the first part of the campaign, most of our efforts will be directed towards these two particular states, which have a lot of potential, especially Pennsylvania has 57 iron mines, 120 coal mines, something that New York lacks, the coal mines, but still has a few iron mines around, and it does have the population base and a lot of potential with the future monument that we're going to be building in there, the Statue of Liberty. We also have to establish a colony in Oklahoma, and we're going to be annexing our initial puppet of the Indian Territory. Why are we doing this? Well, because we plan on puppeting all of South America and North America, and whenever you annex a subject, all the other subjects get a debuff of increased liberty desire. So by annexing our initial two subjects, which we don't really care about too much, it's gonna basically make it easier to keep in check the future puppets. So yeah, we're gonna also reduce the autonomy in Liberia. We're gonna need some more construction sectors too, so I'm gonna queue up for now 8 construction sectors in New York, and that's gonna increase our demand of iron, tools, wood, and everything else. So we're gonna have to queue up exactly that. Next, we're gonna be queuing iron mines in New York, a few, say 6 of them in New York, and tooling workshops, another 5 of them in New York. We're adding a lot of stuff in the same state because right now we have quite a bit of extra infrastructure in New York, an extra 25. That being said, we do have railways, so if we need extra infrastructure, we could always just queue up some railways. From a diplomatic perspective, we have really great relations with the French, and I'm going to double down on this because we're going to see the British Empire as a natural enemy. However, temporarily, I'm going to be having good relations with them. I'm going to improve my relations with the British just so I can grab hold of these 3 states from the British once we border them and we've dealt with the Mexicans. We do need to have good relations with the British to peacefully transfer these states to ourselves. And after that, well, after that, I'm going to be a little bit more interested in the northern bits, if you know what I mean. I'm going to be doing trade privileges with the French and with the British too, both of which will be more than happy to accept. And I'm going to get the rest of my declared interest all around South America. Cancel the North American one because we're not going to be expanding in there anytime soon, at least. And no, I will not be expanding into South Africa or the old world in general. I'm only going to keep this as a new world expansion for this particular campaign. There you go. Our agreements have come into force, and Liberia has also accepted becoming a puppet without us having to go to war with them, which is good. That means we just have to focus on the Indians now. We also seem to be having a coup by the Southern Plantation Owners, or as they were known at the time, the Democratic Party. I am not on board with that, Democrats. I am not on board with that. I will have to stomp you out. Fortunately, it seems like the Mexicans also have annexed the entirety of Texas. This happens a lot in this patch from what I noticed, so we're gonna have to take this back. This is rightful American Clay, everybody knows. Henry Clay will become an abolitionist, as he should, and we've annexed the Indians. Beautiful. Investment rights allowed the United States to build in Brazil. Holy yes! Yes, Brazil. Oh my god, I don't even need to force you to do that. That is crazy, brother. Now guys, take note, there are a few states we start with which are not incorporated states. That means that building these particular states is going to be more difficult since we have the construction efficiency malus, and there's a few other problems. We don't tax them, they don't get influenced by our institutions. However, because we do start with the frontier colonization legislation, we do have 50% migration attraction in unincorporated states. So that means that these states that are not incorporated will get more migrants coming into them. So we will not incorporate these for the first part. We're going to wait for quite a while before we incorporate the Midwest and the western parts of the United States. Yes, we are in essence waiting until we've fully developed the eastern part so we can start developing the west. So I'll let you guys know when I'm going to incorporate them, but it's going to take a little bit of time. Now, another major thing we need to do is form our own power block. Of course, this will be properly named the North Atlantean Termite Organization, or short, we can just call it NATO. Obviously, we will be forming a trade league so everybody can be a part of our market when they join our particular power block. We do need 500 influence to form a power block, so we're gonna need to rival some people. Let's say the Portuguese, the Spanish, and the Ottomans. Historical rivals of America, clearly historical. Go back here and let's go ahead and get NATO established. This has lowered our relations with most of the major powers here, so we're gonna have to improve relations back again. The reason I formed this so early on is because we really need to get those principles established. We need mandate to get principles, and the faster the mandate progress, the faster you get your principles. How do we get mandate, you ask? Well, by adding more minor powers to our power block, we get that done. First nation we'll be attacking to add to this power block is going to be the Argentine Confederation. So we're going from the bottom most tip of the Americas and making our way up north. Hey, we got dedicated police force, hell yeah. And we got Andrew Jackson as the ruler. Okay. Oh no, wait, it's John Calhoun. Wait, where's Andrew? I thought Andrew Jackson will be the ruler. This guy's a slaver. We don't want this man. Oh my god, he's the worst. Oh, Andrew Jackson is the leader of the yeomen. So they're not strong enough to overtake the Southern Plantation Owners. That's why Calhoun became the leader. Oof. Oh, we do have the option of removing John Calhoun from office. That is beautiful. There you go. So now Ebenezer is our new president. What is happening here, guys? What on earth is happening? He's another slaver. Okay. US, you have issues, boys. You really have issues with this. We're an illegitimate government. We don't even have enough legit. This is the worst case scenario. Literally a worst RNG. Do we need a civil war to fix this country? I'm gonna go on very low taxation just so I can get a little bit of government here. Unacceptable government is better than illegitimate one. Now, guys, we also do start with a company, the William Cramson Sons Company. I'm gonna disband this. Why am I doing that? Is because I don't like having money, clearly, because I just paid 1.6 million out of my treasury to disband it. No, it's not because of that. It's because there are much better companies that we can get, especially industrial companies that give us prestige goods and are not affected by freaking shipyards. Like, who cares about that stuff? Come on. For example, the Combined American Metal Work Consortium is going to give manufacturing industries throughput plus 5%. That is crazy. That's all of the manufacturing industries, by the way, alongside the precision tools prestige good, and it affects the tooling workshops and potentially could affect steel mills, iron mines, industries. So yeah, I'm gonna go for this as my first company. We'll have other companies we go for afterwards, but for now this is good. I'm also gonna use my charters to give them the iron mine ability to build industry country, and I'm gonna give them investment rights, trade rights, and we have one more charter, but we're gonna save that up because we're gonna have a second company fairly soon, which we're gonna need to give some charters to as well. Invasion is going pretty good. We managed to get the capital, so now we're gonna set up both of our generals on defend front order. We don't want to advance into the rest of the Argentine Federation. As long as we hold on to the capital, we have won the war. Hey, this guy's resigning as well. How many people must resign? Democracy is saved. Is it? This guy's Jacksonian Democrat. I guess it's better than the alternative, right? Maybe. Gold discovered in Colorado. Hails to the yes, baby. That's what I'm talking about. Give me that gold. All the gold I wanted. It's mine. And Booyashaka, Argentina is free. It's free. The word we're going to use here is liberation and freedom, okay? We have liberated yet another nation. Why is my authority absolutely horrible? This is not good. Timed modifiers, widespread protest, maze of intrigue. Okay, this is not good at all. Gonna have to cancel a couple of my decrees here. We're gonna go for the greener grass campaign and the social mobility ones for now. We'll get these back once the timed modifiers go away. And now we do need more construction sectors, so let's go ahead and get another 3 for now, and we'll build them up as needed. We are starting to get some massive shortages of paper, so let's go ahead and give some subventions for importing paper. That will encourage our trade centers to import some paper from wherever it's available. And same thing here with the fertilizers. Plus, we're going to be building some fertilizer manufactories and some paper mills ourselves because we actually do need these. We could say build one in the District of Columbia so they actually do something and not just look pretty over there, and get one in Massachusetts and one in New York for now. Then with the fertilizer plant, we're going to get these actually wherever we have sulfur production ongoing. So where is that? Louisiana has sulfur, so let's make sure that fertilizer plants as well as paper mills get produced in Louisiana, with explosives factories eventually too, since that is a closed circuit. Every single good required for production is in the same state here, so we can give this state as well a bit of a purpose. Problem with this is during the Civil War, Louisiana is going to break away from us, so it's going to set us back a little bit, but it's not the end of the world. Another day, another war in South America. The Huttling Proviso. We have the option of rejecting the proviso, accepting it, which will either expand slavery in the western states or abolish it in the west. Alternatively, we also can make it a state-by-state issue. I'm not going to let the states decide. I'm going to abolish slavery in all the western states, so they join the good guys. There you go. Ecuador is easy peasy. It's basically like this for most of South America early in the campaign, which is why I like to invade South America early on, because then you don't need to worry about anything anymore. You literally can just grab most of South America without having to fight the other great powers, because they're busy doing their own little things around Europe and the old world. This changes later when they become a lot more interested in the new world, though. Kind of similar with the Uruguay and Paraguay. Early in the campaign, Brazil doesn't really join on Uruguay or Paraguay's side because they're basically recovering from the civil war they just had. But if you don't invade them early, what happens is the Brazilians will help the Uruguayans or Paraguayans, so you're going to struggle a little bit more after. Also, as of this patch, we can just get military access through nations, so that way we can invade Paraguay through Argentina now without having to wait until we make Argentina a puppet to be able to walk through their lands to get to Paraguay. We've also queued up 2 steel mills and then 5 more construction sectors in Pennsylvania, since we'll be going for the United Pennsylvania Steel Producers Company as our second company, because it gives the refined steel prestige good alongside the state construction efficiency plus 5%, which is pretty significant. And yes, we are in fact invading the Haitians. There really is no logic to who I'm attacking first here. I'm just going for whoever I look at the map and say, oh, they need to become my protectorate. Why not? Peru seems to be in a pretty big war right now with Bolivia. Looks like the first South American Great War, isn't it? Now, speaking of Great Wars, we are gonna need some more infantry for our war with the Mexicans. So let's queue up a few more units in the northern states here, basically totally setting myself up so I have the army in the north. When the Civil War starts, I don't need to worry about my troops being in the south, and as such I can easily win the war since the whole army is already on our side. And there you go, we got secret police, noise. We also have a lot of support for universal suffrage. It is a little bit early to pass this, but I'm still gonna do it because it will help us get more power for the Whig Party, which is the party that we would really like to see in charge. And it's also time that we do the big war against the Mexicans. Clicius Maximus, Manifest Destiny. We got claims on all the Mexican parts that are rightfully ours, so let's go ahead and get ready for this. I'm gonna go for return state on every single one of the states that we have the claims on. So after this is done, we're gonna have nice and pretty borders with the Mexicans. We will have to divide our army though, because we're gonna have a few multiple fronts here. And now the way that you win this war against Mexico as the US is with conscripts. The big ace of the American slave is the amount of population it has. So because we have 17 million pops, and because of our legislation, we can recruit an insane amount of conscripts. We're not gonna do that yet though. We're gonna wait until the war actually starts, because right now the Mexicans are confident they're gonna win this because of their gold reserves and the size of their army. If we were to get the conscripts now, they're gonna be fearful and they might back down, and then we end up just having Texas or whatever is our primary demand. We don't want that. We want them to be as relaxed as they possibly can be, so that they can actually go to war with us and we take everything that we need to take. Yeah, I just recruited a few conscripts and they're already down to worried confidence level, which is no bueno. All right, the war is on. Let's go, boys. This army is on defend until we actually manage to get a few conscripts in it. So let's go ahead and wait there. But these armies here, they're not on defend, because these armies are going to be pushing into the Mexican side as fast as they possibly can, so we can actually get the war goals from the northern bits. The Mexicans only have a couple of armies, so they cannot defend against us completely, which is why we're going to be able to win this extremely easy. This war is always super easy for the Americans. I kind of feel like they should buff a little bit the Mexicans so that at least it's a little bit of a challenge, you know what I mean? All right, we got condensed engine pumps now, so we're going to make insane amounts of monies. And rejoice, everyone, we have an abolitionist, so he's going to be supporting the abolitionist movement. That is a delicious. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to suppress the pro-slavery movement just so they get a little bit less support. There you go, boys. We're advancing on every single front and their mamas. I could have added more war goals here, so I could have taken lands from the Mexicans, or I could have made them a puppet, but that would have increased my infamy a little bit too much, and I'd like to keep that infamy as low as possible so that I can actually start munching into the rest of South America. And there you go, boys. We got all of the western states. Beautiful. Now we got the historical American borders, as you can see. Well, maybe not very pretty because we haven't colonized everything, but it's gonna get there, don't worry. Let's go ahead and establish the colonies in the rest of these states. Gold Rush in California, hot diggity dog, always spread the word, so we always get the migration attraction. Now I'm gonna make some exceptions with the incorporation of states here. I will be incorporating California and some of the other states that do have a lot of gold, because they're gonna get migrants anyway. The migration attraction is not gonna make much of a difference in these particular states, right? We also just want to max out these states as soon as possible, incorporate them, start building up a ton of stuff in there, so we make these states massive industrial powerhouses that get more pops attracted to them. American Nebraska will indeed become a free state. We're also going to queue up a few general industry, as I like to call it, buildings. I'm talking about food industries, some textile mills too, some furniture manufactories. And why are we doing this? Well, because our standard of living is increasing. That means our population is able to afford these types of goods and we make money off of them. So of course we're doing that. Plus at the same time, continue to expand our tooling industries, massively upscale our iron mine and logging camps, because we're going to get more construction sectors. We're going to max out both New York and Pennsylvania. And speaking of logging camps, they're actually really productive and we have quite a shortage of them. So I'm going to just spam a few more logging camps around just so we get more people their jobs and we make more money off of them too. Hey, look at that. Our company is now second in the world, right after the East India Company, which, let's face it, is a little bit overpowered from day one. So it's going to take a little bit of effort to defeat this particular company, say the least. I mean, they freaking start with 87 freaking opium plantations alone, which is ridiculous. Another thing I'm going to be queuing up is university. So I'm going to get 7 of them in New York. I'm going to get another 5 in Pennsylvania. So we're doing this not only because of innovation, but also because of qualifications. And for that reason, again, we're going to get at least 1 university in all of our states to get those qualifications up alongside the innovation. Once we reach our max cap for innovation, we're going to stop there. But once we increase that cap, we're going to keep on building more unis and more until we have enough. And exactly as I was saying earlier, we have our secondary company. So now we're going to go for the United Pennsylvanian Steel Producers. As I said earlier, we don't have many charters, so we can give them either iron mines, which is not bad, coal mines, which again is not bad, or we can give them investment rights, which allows them to build regional company HQs. I like the investment rights a lot, as I like the trade rights for that matter. But I also want them to build iron mines, so I'm going to give them the iron mine industry for now, and we're going to give investment rights when we get more company charters. Hey, we got professional army. Hell yeah. Okay, that's actually pretty good because our main issue earlier was the fact that we could only have 5 barracks per state. Now we can have a lot more than 5, so we can spam a few more in New York and Pennsylvania, as well as Ohio. Why not? We can get some more units in Ohio too. I want to have at least, say, 40 infantry and 40 artillery for each army. That way we also increase our prestige and we also increase our power projection, which plays a pretty significant role in the treaties after the more recent patch, especially. Also, I'm going to be making Argentina a puppet because we can, so why the schnitzel not? So we're able now to lower the autonomy level of Argentina, make them an actual puppet. Beautiful. They are a little bit rebellious, but it's not the end of the world. They'll get over it. We can also start funding lobbies in Argentina, which will allow us to make them a little bit friendlier towards us. So now we also got professional army. That's actually pretty good. That means I'm going to do something very important. I'm going to be increasing the amount of soldiers that I have. So we're going to have, say, 30 infantry and 30 artillery in each of our armies. Why are we doing this? Not only because it will increase our prestige, but it will also increase our power projection. And in this particular patch especially, power projection really helps with treaties. The more power projection you have, the easier it is to enforce your treaties. Oh no, the Great Sioux Uprising is here. Whatever are we going to do, guys? It's over. To prove my point here, getting the defensive alliance with the British is not possible because of the British army power projection compared to us. That is basically it's saying that the British army is bigger and the British navy is bigger than us, so we need to increase our army and navy size if we want to have better outcomes in the treaties. Now we're able to get our first principle. We're going to go for the advanced research straight. We really want to be the technological powerhouse of this campaign, and I've taken advantage of a little bit of a situation here. In order to reduce the Ecuadorian autonomy, I have to fight New Granada. So instead of me having to fight New Granada and the Netherlands, which for some reason is supporting New Granada, I'm lowering the autonomy of Ecuador militarily, and in the process making a puppet out of New Granada a lot easier because I don't actually have to fight anybody else to establish this particular puppet. Gold depleted in California. Hornor, what going to do now? Oh, also I probably should go for canned fish and pot stilts just because we need that. We're gonna need to queue up a lot more industry now that I think about it. I feel like we just need a lot more construction sectors, don't we? Another gold field depleted. Oh my god. Oh no, this is the one in California. All right, tell you what we're gonna do. We're gonna queue up those gold mines since we have those fields depleted there. Ecuador, it's time for you to come back to Poppy, and you can bring your little Granadan friend over for dinner too. 2 for the price of 1. And the funny part is that they both have an almost identical flag. It's almost like they switched the flag around and it's the same thing in it. Jesus Christ, we literally have 100 progress on this. This is just ridiculous. It literally is bullying the South Americans as the US. It's so crazy. Like, I feel like maybe there should be some debuffs to the US early in the campaign because they just feel insanely overpowered as it is right now. All right, we need even more construction sectors, and I'm gonna build these in Illinois. Illinois is not a bad state either. In fact, I think Illinois is kind of the 3rd best state after New York and Pennsylvania early in the campaign. Might be debatable, but I really like Illinois. Allow the US to build in Chile. Wait, what? They're giving us all this stuff and a defense. What? Is Chile trying to tell me, don't make me your puppet? I'll give you literally everything without you having to puppet me. You bought yourself some time, Chile. You literally just did that. Damn, I love when the AI actually comes up with some decent treaties, you know? And yes, in case you're wondering, we have just surpassed the Great British Empire already. I'm actually having a ton of fun with this campaign. I really hope you guys give me the likes so you let me know that you want to see the continuation for this. US campaigns are always some of my favorites because it's just fun, like so OP, but at the same time, it's nice feeling OP as a nation in the Wiki 3 because especially recently I've been playing a lot of OPMs. I don't know if I don't know if I've already released it, but my Krakow campaign is freaking crazy, and I mean crazy, guys. Probably gonna release this video before that one though, as far as I can tell. We got 1 modernizer and we have 2 abolitionists. Still, it might be an issue passing this law. I'm pretty much expecting we're gonna have a war now because of this. Oh my god, we can invite the Chileans to our power block. Do I want to do that? I mean, it would be easier if they're my subject, but you know what? Screw it. I'm just gonna let Chile be my pal. Okay, Chile's gonna be my bestest of friends. They're not my subject, they're my friends. Okay, we're just being friendly here. It's a friendly union of nations, termite nations organization. A mutual mutual investment rights deal. This could potentially be really good or really bad. I'm not sure what to tell you, Britain. I feel like I might need to be swayed a little bit more here. There you go. This feels like a good deal to me. So I'm gonna ask them to also help me pass this particular law. And I'm also agreeing to no subventions and tariffs on certain goods. I feel like that's worth it. I feel like that's actually worth it because that's gonna be a big help here. Allow US to build in Portugal, and we also get some... Yeah, thanks, Portugal, for the free investment rights. Now, color me weirded out here. But isn't law enactment supposed to give us some bonus, some endorsement bonus? Did they change that with the last patch and I didn't realize? Because then what is the point of that particular... Brother, I have to say it. I kind of dislike this. I'm not going to lie to you. I hate the fact that this was super fun early on and now it's just become useless, the treaty system. Like, it's impossible to pass certain things anymore. It's impossible to do any treaties anymore. And it's just, what's the point of this if you're going to nerf it into the ground? Why did you even add it? Holy schnitzel, man. I get that, you know, people are abusing that stuff sometimes. Sure, you can nerf it a little bit to stop the abuses, but not nerf it into the ground to the point where having treaties is just pointless. Like, actually pointless now. Jesus, bro, come on. Except for like 2 options in the treaties, nothing else is important there anymore. And impossible to get to. Ooh la la, a new mandatos. Let's upgrade our advanced research. We want to go for the 3rd level so we get those extra innovation maximum points. You know, I just realized us invading Central America means that we're technically preventing the collapse of Central America into multiple smaller nations, right? So we're technically saving them, right? This is a saving campaign, guys. Are we the good guys? Probably not, no. We're just gonna make this whole area one big banana plantation. Welcome to the banana group. Ooh, that's what I should have named my power block. Now it's too late. Come on, I should have thought about this. We're gonna have another big war here where we subjugate Peru, Bolivia. Brazil is joining on their side. As I said earlier, later in the campaign, they start joining on the nation's side as they are doing right now. So we're going to have to fight off the Brazilians. We're not adding any war goals against them, so we can quickly piece them out, though. I'm going to set this particular army here on defend front. We've also started recruiting more units because we have a bit of an organization issue because we have way too much artillery in this particular army group. Maybe I should actually bring some units from the other armies to that one so we don't need to worry about it too much here. Let's say bring from this particular group an extra 10 infantry, which should be enough for now to get rid of the organization debuff. And you know what? I actually like this. This is a proper big war we're getting here. Whoa! We just banned slavery without the Civil War? What? Oh, dude, that is actually kind of OP. I mean, does it make much of a difference? I guess it does, doesn't it? Because we don't have to waste all that time on the Civil War. Okay, I like it. Okay, I like that a lot, actually. Let me make a save game here. We can say this is US good timeline. So we're gonna post this on my Discord too if you want to check out the save. You can also continue from this point with the pretty stable America, I'd say. Now back into the south here, we're gonna have to get rid of quickly of the Mapuche, which have rebelled, so then we can start focusing on the northern fronts, which are kind of in a bad state right now. It's really bad. What's going on here? Allow France to build in the... Brother, these investment rights for free. I'm loving this. I'm actually loving this. All right, let's go back up here. We're gonna have to push into Peru, Bolivia. And Bulgarians are migrating, I guess. That's a good thing, right? 13.6 standard of living. Hails to the yes. Oh my god, we have massive shortages of fish, wood, and a lot of other things. All right, we pieced out the Brazilians, so now all of our armies are focusing on the Peruvian front. And check it out, boys. Advanced Research 3. Our cap is now at 158 innovation, so we're gonna have to spam some more unis, actually. We're still missing unis, especially in the western states. I mean, it's not that big of a deal, though, because I'm not building in those states much now, but still I like to have at least 1 or 2. And let's get another 10 unis in New York. That should be enough for the innovation bit. Jesus, we're driving a literal wedge into the Peruvian front here. All right, we got public health insurance too, so let's make sure we upgrade this to a max level. We're currently using 183 bureaucracy per institution level, so we need at least like 1,000 something more bureaucracy. Let's see where we have taxation issues. Of course, Pennsylvania always. Let's get 10 buildings in there, another 3 in New York, a couple in Ohio too, and we just got Peru, Bolivia as our next subject. Beautiful. Gonna celebrate that by getting more construction sectors. You guessed it. Let's get 9 of them in Ohio. Since the Civil War is not happening, I'm gonna start recruiting and building a lot of stuff in the South too, just to get them happier and give them some jobs and increase the standard of living there too. Oh, the French are migrating. Trouble in paradise, French people? Not enough croissants to go around. What is the issue there? Oh wow, actually I can get an alliance now with the British. That is pretty huge. I'm not gonna lie, that is actually pretty huge. Could I be cheeky and maybe do a little bit of this? Oh my god, minus 520. Yeah, that's never gonna happen. How about military assistance? Can you guys give me some military assistance for free? Yeah, this works for me. Let's go. So now we have the Convention of London into effect, and we also have refined steel being produced by our company. Okay, we got 2 prestige goods, guys. We've got the precision tools, and our company is up to 189,000 profit, by the way. And we also have the refined steel with this company also doing pretty decent. Let's check the global stats. Our company is first. We just went above the Hudson Bay company, and our second company is 7th or something, which is really good. Holy shit, we have the most productive company in the world. I love that. Let's also max out all of our institutions as celebration, of course. I'm also going to attempt to go for free trade. Right now we have protectionism, which is not the worst, but free trade gives us that 25% trade advantage, which can be extremely good, especially when paired with the trade privileges, which we already have with most of the major players in the campaign. So we can make even more money off of trade. Let's go ahead and also continue to expand our construction sectors. Get another 10 in Illinois. So I've gone ahead and I've changed my government administrations to the standardized filing system. That means we have significant more spendings now on goods for government buildings. So we're gonna have to make that cheaper. The way to do that is to just increase the amount of paper mills that we've got. So we're gonna spam 5 of these paper mills in Pennsylvania, another 2 in New York for now, and probably want to out-queue the ones in Pennsylvania because we really need that ASAP. That being said, the extra bureaucracy allows us to get all of the institutions done. Plus, more importantly than that, something that I think is time for, we will be incorporating all of the unincorporated states. So that means all of the ones that have finished colonizing their respective areas will be becoming incorporated states, plus the middle ones here, once we finish colonizing, again, we'll make them incorporated states. That means they're not going to get the bonus from migration attraction because of the frontier colonization, but it's not the end of the world. We're also in the process of researching quinine, so once that's done, we're going to be able to do the Oregon Trail. Hey, we've now also overtaken the British Raj and on our way to take over Great Qing, which has plafonated around 100 million GDP. Know what else I need? I need more ships, so I'm going to get an extra 20 frigates for now in the southern states build. Plus, we need more construction sectors, so we're going to max out the ones in Illinois and the ones in Ohio. Actually, I'm going to bring that at the top of the queue, so I'll click all of these bad boys to get finished ASAP. The Mexican Cession, all of these areas become homelands for the Dixie and the Yankee people, which in turn means it's going to be a lot easier to incorporate them. It was initially like 20 something years to incorporate California. Now it's down to 5 months left for the 20 months that we got left. And in literally a few days, we're going to do the Frontier Wars as well. Boom shakalaka. Frontier Wars has been done. More homelands for the Dixie and the Yankee people, as well as we got one more mandate. So that means we can either upgrade internal trade to level 2, which will give us the company throughput bonus. I think I'm going to go for that. Wait, actually, we have 2 mandates. I didn't see that we had 2 mandates. Oh my god, I've been missing out on the throughput this whole freaking time. That's crazy. Well, next up, we'll do the 3rd principle. How is it with the power blocks now? We're the 2nd power block, actually. We got 10 countries in the power block, which means we're going to be able to get all 4 of our principles unlocked, and we're getting a mandate every 22 months, which is extremely fast. 14.6 also standard of living. Oh my god, we are literally the greatest nation. Ignore the Russian-American company. Just ignore it. Ignore it. Now let's go ahead and map the American Western frontier. We're going to send Mr. Thomas Jackson to map it. And we also can do now the first transcontinental railway. So that means we need to have some railways in Nebraska, Wyoming, Utah, Nevada, and California. Nevada, Wyoming, Utah, and I forgot, Nebraska, was it? I think so, yeah. Okay, so that should be fine then. South Italia is migrating. It's better us than Argentina, am I right? One thing that I've noticed in this patch is that Brazil does significantly better than in previous patches. It's actually become a major power in my particular game. It has 80 battalions, 10 10 million GDP. It really is not doing as bad as I've seen it before. So kind of thinking maybe I should do a new Brazil run just to see what exactly has changed that's making them be so much more better. Is it just like an AI change? Did they actually add some buffs to them? I really don't know. If you guys know, let me know, because I'm actually curious about it. So I've also waited before I expanded again, because I wanted to have less infamy since I'm attacking the Mexicans next. It is 71 infamy to make a puppet out of Mexico, but it's gonna be worth it because this is the last major area of the Americas that is not yet ours, with the exception of Brazil, of course. Now the problem is that the Russians, the Austrians, and the Spanish are joining on the side of the Mexicans, so this is going to be a bit of a brutal war. I will initially just defend my areas. I'll let the Austrians and the Russians push in. That way they're gonna grind down their units and they will eventually just back out of the war, peace me out. That's what I'm really waiting for here. Once the Austrians and the Russians peaced out, I'm gonna just start pushing into the Mexican areas and crush them. Let's go, boys. Time for the greatest war of our times. I really should have puppeted the Mexicans in the first war where I took back my lands. That would have been 40 infamy, so I would have saved up 30 infamy. I don't know why I didn't do it. I even had the maneuvers to do it. So if you're following along with what I'm doing, don't make my mistake. Don't puppet Mexico later, because you're gonna have to fight major powers like I'm fighting right now. Instead, just puppet them when you attack for the conquest of the Manifest Destiny claims. Now I'm gonna have to end my rivalry with the Russians, and I'm gonna have to get good relations with them after this war, since we want to purchase Alaska from them. All right, it's looking pretty good so far. We're actually making leeway here. We are being blockaded though, so that's not good. I'm not looking forward to see any invasions on my coastlines. That would suck. We have massive shortages also of wood, fish, and clothes, so we're gonna have to build up a little bit of that. It's actually really easy building that up in the southern states here, since we don't really have anything going on there now. As for wood, we can build that up in the Midwest, so that way we get some jobs for pops in the Midwest, which right now have basically no jobs. And hey, we got a new mandate. So what are we gonna go for here, guys? I have a few things I would love to do. For example, food standardization would be huge because it would allow me to get more pops faster, but at the same time I would like to go for freedom of movement, which is the ultimate migration attraction principle. It will make us the migration hub of the world. And then last, we're gonna go for the either food standardization or the company one, because the company one is pretty good too. The latest one added with the DLC, I believe. And we got the Transcontinental Railway. Hails to the yes. That way we get more migration attraction to Utah, Nevada, and California, states that definitely need more migrants. Now, despite having passed the slavery ban, we do need to wait for 10 years and hopefully not get the civil war in these 10 years. I think the biggest thing that helped us out here is the fact that we've really doubled down on suppressing the pro-slavery movement to the point where it's literally gone now. So there's really not much of a support or incentive for a rebellion that is pro-slavery anymore. All right, it is time to push it a little bit now. We should be able to peace out some nations. There you go. Spain and Austria have just peaced out as consequence of our little push and destruction of their armies. We're going to give the objective here to capture the capital of Mexico. And we've got almost 50 advantage now on this particular front. So we're absolutely going to win this. We also have a lot of debt. So what I'm going to do to fix that debt is I'm going to start actually privatizing some of my buildings. That way we're going to be selling these off, and we're going to use the money from selling them to pay that particular debt off. It also is good because it's going to make more capitalists for us, and more capitalists means more people that we can tax. Wait a second. War? What is it good for? Growing my economy. That's right. We're close to 100 million GDP, boys. Okay, we also have started privatizing our buildings here just so we can start paying off the debt that we have, and so we can increase the amount of capitalists that we have as well, which means we will be getting more people to tax. I love that. Taxing is the best. Unless you're getting taxed, then it's probably not the best. And we finally cracked 100 million GDP. Hails to the yes, boys. Oh, look at that. The Mexicans are also giving up. Beautiful. So we've won the war, and we've turned the last South American, well, Spanish-speaking nation, I guess, into our subject. Well, no, we do have Cuba, actually. We got to get our hold on. Mapping the western frontier takes a few times before you're able to actually go for the Oregon dispute here. We do have now 2 legislations that I'm pretty desperate to pass. First off, cultural exclusion, so I get more pops migrating to my lands, and second off, proportional taxation, which is going to absolutely revolutionize our income. But I don't have much support for either of those. It actually is pretty bad. We could change to this particular government, which is 28 50% acceptance. Not great, but that means we can do both of these. So we can do proportional taxation and we can do cultural exclusion. There's a lot less opposition for proportional taxation than cultural exclusion, so I will be going for this first. Hopefully this passes. We'll attempt proportional taxation afterwards. And we just got Joshua Norton, which, as we very well know, can become our king, and we have an achievement for that. I actually already got the achievement for this guy last time I played as the US, but I might going down the same path actually. Let's let him proclaim and let the people laugh, quote unquote. You never know what happens. Let's go for the final principle. As said before, the companies one. Now we have issues with our proportional taxation. The government is not on board with it. In fact, we've got illegitimate government and we have no way of getting any sort of legitimate government. It is crazy. I don't know what to do here. This is one of the problems with democracies. You know what I'm saying? Like, I cannot get above 25 legitimacy, man, on very low taxation. What the hell? Why? What the hell is this, man? All right, let's go ahead and make an offer to the Russians. We're gonna offer them 3 million over the course of a year. There you go. We annexed the Alaskan bits, which is not bad. We've got 8 gold fields here, so that's pretty decent. Is it worth that much? Probably not now, but it will be worth as we progress in the campaign. So yeah, that was a good choice for us to buy Alaska off of the Russians. At least what I think, right? Population-wise, we have a lot of Russians here, as you would expect. 149,000, 100,000 Ukrainians to some Bulgarians, mostly people from the Balkans and Eastern Europe. So we're gonna have to turn these pops into Amarikuns, and we're gonna need some more market access. So I'm gonna get a secondary port in here, which should give us a little bit more infrastructure. How much infrastructure are we lacking actually? 6. We're gonna need 2 ports. We've already gotten way above everybody else when it comes to GDP, and we're growing at an insane rate too. Only issue is the government and the legislations. That's kind of what's really pushing me back now, unfortunately. I've had really bad luck with this particular RNG bit. After many, and I mean absolutely many failed Western expeditions, we actually got the Oregon Trail. So now we've got control of the last 3 states to be proper United States of Americans. Let's go ahead and incorporate all 3 of these states here. Once more, change our production methods around. You guys also want to see our companies? Check it out. The first one's got 547,000 in profit alone. Not only is it the greatest company out there, better than the Hudson Bay Company, but it also has more money as profit than most nations have as their entire economy. We're reaching 2 mil just because of this company alone, which is crazy, bro. Now, seeing as some of the major issues in my country are wood, I'm gonna be spamming a ton of wood and all of these required resources in Mexico, so we can start making Mexico loyal as well. There you go. All of Mexico will be my little wood glory hole. It's totally a word. Wood glory hole. People know that's a word, right? Guys, you know that's a word. There you go. Their economic dependence on us is increasing by quite a bit. We got the 3rd level for companies, so now we got a 3rd company that we can establish. This is going to be a tough choice. Also, did you guys realize that they added with the more recent patch more prestige goods? I'm talking about craft paper. That was not there before, was it now? Select fish? What kind of fish is that? Who selects the fish is my question. Who's the one in charge? Sea Island Cotton. What does that even mean? What? I think this actually is a unique one to the US, isn't it? American high-powered small arms. What? Hold on a second now. Now I actually do have questions. Textile mill throughput, power plant throughput is pretty good too. They really should add for this particular company a prestige good, because it's a good company, but without the prestige good, it makes it so useless. Do want to go for the birth rate. What is our population looking like? 2.78 million peasants. We're going to need more than that though. One company that I'm going to get my hands on eventually later in the campaign is going to be Ford Motors, which is going to affect motor industries and automobile industries. I just want to point out that this company is absolutely overpowered by far. So you got the unique Ford automobile prestige good, which onto itself is a huge deal, because I believe it's the only unique prestige good that is an automobile, and automobiles are the best good in the game. It is a late game good, but it is still overpowered as schnapps. Now it does affect motor industries, automotive industries, and gives throughput bonus for both of those, as well as you can add to this rubber and steel mills. Brother, this is literally the perfect company. From a financial perspective, this company will overtake any other company once we've established it. We do need 5 motor industries in Michigan, which we got, and we need to research combustion engine, which we don't have yet. But by the time that we finish investment banks, which will give us another company, we will also have combustion engines passively researched, and then we can get Ford automobiles then. In the meanwhile, we're gonna go for Lee Wilson and Company for the textile mill throughput, power plant throughput, and because we get a special prestige good, the Sea Island cotton, as well as because we can also give it railways. That's right, baby. The prosperity is gonna be massive because of the railways, boys. Railways is literally where it's at for this particular company, and we can even give it monopolies on railways eventually once we get more charters, maybe. So it is going to be an insane company. Let's also get more construction sectors because we need to double down on that. We do have now the steel frame production method, so what we're going to do is we're going to start slowly switching over to the steel frame production method, and that means we're going to need to start spamming some glass works and some steel mills more than we already have. Another really cool company is the Munitions Consortium of New York, which we're going to go for. We're going to do Ford after this one, okay? I promise. Next one's going to be Ford. The reason why Munitions Consortium is really good is not only because it affects explosives and munitions plant, which we have a lot of demand for right now, but again, it actually can get steel mill and sulfur mills, which also we have a ton of demand for, especially since now we're switching over to the steel frame production methods for the construction sector. So, you know what? Let's just do all of them. Freak it, man. That's 1,100 construction, and we can definitely handle it. It means that we're going to be able to double down on our steel production as well as the explosives production. So yeah, check it out. We're actually in massive demand of this right now. It is insanely crazy how much demand there is for both of these now. Oh, Lee Wilson and Company is already producing the Sea Island cotton. Hell yeah, baby. My favorite part is that we're doing all of this with a literal illegitimate government. Oh my god, we actually have a government back. Oh, hallelujah. Freaking hell, that took a while, man. All right, boys. How do I put this kindly? Fuck democracy. We're becoming an autocratic country. We're gonna militarily lower the autonomy of Peru, and we're gonna get the British to help us because the Brazilians also want to join in on this. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna break up Brazil into tiny little pieces, basically make it easier for us to subjugate all 3 of those pieces in the next wars. And of course, Peru, Bolivia just back down because why would I have a free war against Brazil, right? Scumbags. I'm gonna leave the first part of the American campaign here. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to leave a like, and I will see you in the next one.